Let's get into this. This is going to be my second to last video. This one is called My Final Lessons Learned After 10 Years and 32,000 Rides in the Rideshare Business. So I am hanging up my driving shoes. I will not be waking up at 2 in the morning, even though I still wake up at 5:30 naturally. I will not be filling my Honda Accord Hybrid with gas the night before. Won't be cleaning my car. In fact, I sold my car on December 23rd. I won't be driving anyone to the airport in a very long time. After 10 years and 32,000 rides, I'm officially retiring from rideshare and also stepping away as a Rideshare Guy contributor. So this video, my penultimate video, is going to share my top 5 lessons learned from rideshare driving that apply not only to rideshare driving, but to my life and maybe to yours as well. So stick around to the end. I'm going to share with you the most important thing that rideshare driving has taught me. All that and a whole lot more coming up. Hey everybody, it's Jay Cradeur with the Rideshare Guy. Today I'm having a cafe macchiato from Amazon just across the street from me here. So I used to get a latte, but since I'm on a keto diet, lattes have a lot of milk. Milk have carbs. So what a macchiato in Italy means stain. It means it's almost all foam, and then they pour the shot right in the middle and it makes a little stain, a little brown mark. So it's basically a shot of espresso and a whole bunch of foam. You can see it, yeah. So that's my current drink, and it tastes good, and I know I'm not, carb loading. Okay, let's get into it. So by way of background, well, let me show you this image first. So this is me and Sergio. I'm kind of been taking a walk down memory lane. This is on one of Sergio's, internet shows, and we had a conversation. So I really have come to love Sergio. He's a good guy, even though we had a rocky start. Okay, so if you stay in business long enough, most advice fades away, right? The longer you do it, the more you just sort of know, and a lot of the advice you get, you realize it's not that important. But there are some things that I have distilled down over my long career as a driver, and I'm going to cover those coming right up. Okay, number 1, longevity comes from structure, not hustle. So I'm finding this in all aspects of my life, that it's not how hard I do something, but it's how I do it. And by creating structure that I can follow, which maximizes my effort and applies myself in a smart way to whatever it is that I'm tackling, that's far more important than hard work. All right. So one good example was when I first started driving full time. I drove full time. I mean, I was doing nothing else, and I gained like 20 or 30 pounds. My back was starting to hurt. And then I realized I needed to change the structure. So in the middle of the day, I joined the 24-hour fitness, and boom. For 1 hour every day, I went to the club and I worked out, I refreshed myself, and that changed everything. So I took a slow time of the day. Instead of, keep driving hard, hustling, I worked out. And I started to lose weight. That also led to me revising my diet, feeling better, back pain not so much because I was getting out and I was moving things around. So that's a good example of how structure far exceeds hustle. Number 2, flexibility only works with boundaries. And if you look at that image, what you're going to see is somebody bowling, but he's got those bumpers on the side, right? So if you just didn't have the bumpers and you had flexibility, you could roll the ball into someone else's lane. So you need to have boundaries. So freedom with boundaries creates growth. And so what was the boundary that I adhered to? I had one simple rule, which was achieve my goal. So for the last 5 years of my career, I was mostly driving in Sacramento on the weekends. The goal was $200. Start at $3 and make $200. And by having that boundary of making $200, that changed how I approached the job. I had to find the time of day where I could work, where there weren't a lot of other people working, and where I could get consistent drives. And that was at 3 a.m. So you have this amazing flexibility, but you got to rein it in order to achieve the goals that you want to achieve, which for me was purely financial. I needed to make so much money. Number 3, most income problems are priority problems. Most income problems are priority problems. So, as I said, my goal was to make the money. That was my priority. Not to work as hard as possible, not to work so many hours. And by having that priority, it changed the way that I approached everything. So I figured out early in December of 2015, when I first started driving, I started driving in Sacramento and quickly realized that if I wanted to do it seriously, I needed to not only change when I was driving, but also where I was driving. And that decision, that priority of maximizing my revenue led me to relocate to San Francisco, drive early mornings, drive 10 hours a day, and then ultimately add that workout in the middle of the day. So as a result of all that, I made like 6 figures 4 consecutive years. And that would not have happened if I stayed comfortable. So comfort was not my priority. My priority was making the money. Okay, number 4, burnout is predictable if you know the signs. So you gotta kind of monitor yourself, because if you start to feel burnout, you could be close to just ending it with rideshare driving, and that leaves you short of whatever bigger goal, we're gonna get to at number 5, but whatever bigger goal that you have. So what are some of the signs? Body aches, right? Constant headaches. I had that for a while. Weight gain, like I said, I was gaining weight driving so much. Feeling sluggish. You can also tell if your tips start coming down. That tells you your energy's low and you're not interacting with your customers properly. General loss of enthusiasm. Those signals matter. And if you start to notice any of those, that's when you got to go see above. Follow some of the rules that I already shared with you, which is reassess your priorities and make some changes. Because if you get to a point where you just have to stop, that just leaves you without a way to make money, and it leaves you short of whatever your bigger goal is, which leads us to number 5. Number 5, rideshare works best when it serves a larger plan, all right? Rideshare works best when it serves a larger plan. So I knew pretty early on, I would say kind of around the pandemic especially, that rideshare driving wasn't going to be a long-term career for me. I loved it. I loved driving. It was one of the best jobs I ever had. I miss it, but I knew that with robo-taxis coming and with the wear and tear on my body and just the risk of being in the car all the time and having an accident, I knew I wasn't going to be able to do this ongoingly. Plus I have a desire to live in another country, which I'm coming to you live from my apartment here in Bangkok. So I knew for all those reasons I had to find something else to do. So rideshare works best when it contributes to a bigger goal that you have. So my recommendation is figure out what that bigger goal is, because if you read the tea leaves, rideshare driving is not going to be something you're going to be able to do for a whole lot longer. I mean, I'm not talking like this year things are going to change, but over the next 5 years, there's just going to be less demand for drivers with robo-taxis. I mean, that's the way things are going. So right now, what an opportunity you have, right? Right now you have this huge opportunity to have a job, to make some money, flexible schedule, and plan and work towards what you want to achieve, and talk to your passengers and learn things and listen to podcasts, and all these things can contribute to whatever is next for you. In my case, it was day trading, and once I realized what I was working towards, driving was just a natural. There was never any question about me doing it every weekend because it was feeding into this larger plan. Key takeaways. So you say, Jay, why are you showing us a movie, Song Sung Blue? Because I watched this movie. I cried during this movie. This is a great frickin' movie, especially if you like Neil Diamond. So in this movie, there's the main character. His name is Hugh Jackman plays a character named Lightning, and he and the woman in the Kate Hudson, they form this group called Thunder and Lightning and Thunder, or Thunder and Lightning, and they sing Neil Diamond songs. And it's, if you love Neil Diamond, it's pretty awesome. But the reason he's there is because in the movie, whenever someone would ask him, you know, hey Lightning, how you doing? He would say, he'd like, oh, you know, just big smile, and he'd go, I'm huge. I'm huge. And if you look at this image, that's him one of the times where his son's asking him how he's doing. And he says, I'm huge. You can just see it in this guy. So I'm huge, and I assert you are huge too. Figure out what makes you even more huge. And rideshare driving gives you a real heads up, a real benefit, a leg up is what I meant to say, because you can use it to make money flexibly and build something that you're moving towards. So figure out what makes you huge, go do it, make yourself more huge, and that morning coffee on the airport run, that will taste that much sweeter, that much richer. All right, so that's my penultimate video. Thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet to the Rideshare Guy, subscribe. If you like the video, give it a like. That lets more people see it. Be sure and watch the last video, which is going to be my final video. And go tell someone you love them, because that makes anybody you tell that to smile and warm up inside, and it makes you warm up inside too. Go out and have a great day. Be safe out there. I'll see you next time for that last final video. Bye for now.